Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. And I'm so excited to have Morley Robbins. And we are just ecstatic because he is going to be talking about why you are so tired. He has an amazing website talking about the root cause protocol. Morley, show your new book that you've got. I have been reading this. It's called Cure Your Fatigue, and it's all about what you need to do to not be so tired. So Morley, welcome.
There's a lot of confusion about what anemia means. And when people say that they are anemic, they've been taught, like circus bears, to think it's anemia of iron deficiency. And they get a blood test done, and there's 3 markers in the blood test that are typically used to varying degrees to define someone as anemic. From 1865, from 1865 to 1972, all clinicians knew that low hemoglobin was a clinical sign of anemia, low production of hemoglobin. All that changed in 1972 with a team of Jacobs et al., 1972, team of London-based hematologists decided to move the spotlight from hemoglobin and moved it over to ferritin. You probably have been eating that. You've been taking supplements with vitamin D, not knowing that there's a cost to that. And the price of vitamin D supplementation is it blocks the absorption of retinol. And that's a big deal. And so retinol deficiency is not your friend. And when I refer to anemia, I put a hyphen between the A and the N. And what's missing in a vegan diet is retinol, vitamin A. And that lack of A in the blood, that's what emia is. Emia is blood, it's Latin for blood. When there's no retinol in the blood, you're not going to have proper iron regulation. Well, it turns out that vitamin D is miles per gallon. And there's an enzyme in our liver, it's called 25-hydroxylase enzyme, which is dependent upon magnesium to work properly. And when magnesium is low, that enzyme doesn't work. And when that enzyme doesn't work, then the expression of vitamin D will be low. But we can take bucketfuls of vitamin D supplements, and it's not going to improve the performance of that enzyme. That's the part that everyone misses, especially the practitioners. And what low vitamin D is really telling us is that there's inflammation taking place in the body. And inflammation is not a disease. It's just another way of saying the mitochondria are not being efficient about making energy. That's the origin of the fatigue. That's what this book is all about. It's really trying to say, how do we end this fatigue? We've got to restore the bioavailability of our copper. We've got to restore the magnesium, and we've got to offload the excess iron that is stuck in our tissue that's not showing in our blood work. That's the key. The 3 classic signs of magnesium deficiency are a twitch in the eye, a hand cramp, or a foot cramp. So when someone is taking magnesium and they're getting a foot cramp, that's telling me that their polarity is flipped. Why? Because they have too much iron in their tissue. And it's actually called neurological switching. That begins to get into this very kind of woo-woo side of medicine that's like there is energy dynamics that are very predictable, and they're very treatable, and they're very correctable. But the classic dosing for magnesium is 5 milligrams per pound body weight. So if someone weighs 100 pounds, they should be taking about 500 milligrams of magnesium. The forms that I like the best are magnesium malate. The best brand is Jigsaw Health has a wonderful magnesium SRT. I was really fascinated because I worked in the hospital industry for so long, and kind of in the back of my head, I was like, gee, why does everyone keep getting so sick? And then this idea that we have disease it's just a story. And I'm not being insensitive to the people who have notable conditions and discomfort. It's just there's more to the story. And what is very important to understand is that the origin of all conditions, syndromes, maladies, diseases, whatever word you want to use, it's energy loss. And when there's energy loss, that creates a downstream breakdown in the metabolism that eventually will affect enzyme function. And then when the enzymes stop working, that's when we start to experience the symptoms of some condition or syndrome. Any animal with parasites is copper deficient. We've never been told that we were copper deficient before. It's a very rare individual. Outside of the people within the RCP, ask yourself, where have you ever heard the term copper deficiency, copper depletion, copper deprivation? And we're living in an era when glyphosate, very powerful farming chemical, is a copper chelator. Takes it right out of the soil, which means it's not in the plants or the animals or the humans eating the plants or the animals. So right away, we know that the possibility of having parasites rises exponentially when we have a low copper diet.
Got it. Well, this has been amazing. Tell listeners where they can find you and where they can follow you.
Absolutely. Again, the website, rcp123.org. There are two, there's two Facebook locations. There's a group, the Magnesium Advocacy Group, and there's a page called the Root Cause Protocol page.
You are so amazing. Well, this has been an honor for me. Thank you guys so much. I really want to encourage you guys to grab the book, The Cure, How to Cure Your Fatigue. It is awesome. It's right there. Cure Your Fatigue. It's so good. I'm about 60% done with it. I'm not 100% yet, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. And I'll continue to finish it up this week. And we just appreciate you guys so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.